Here we go again, doing a review for Netflix's Daredevil, Season 2, Episodes 8 through 10. Titles being Guilty as Sin, 7 Minutes in Heaven, and The Man in the Box. Okay, so brief synopsis of all 3 episodes. In Episode 8, we start off where we left off in the last episode with Elektra and Daredevil looking into the pit, and Daredevil finally hears the flashlight hit the bottom and realizes that the pit is at least 40 stories deep. They get attacked by ninjas. At one point, Elektra is going to kill this guy. Daredevil says, "Whoa, stop!" And at that point, she hesitates. She gets stabbed. Daredevil freaks out because, that's his girl getting hurt. And he gets the crap beat out of him by 3 ninjas. And it looks like he's going to get gutted when in comes Stick, his blind mentor, who we were introduced in Season 1. He comes in, saves the day, kicks the ninjas, and they escape. And throughout the episode, they're trying to help Elektra because not only she gets stabbed, the blades were poisonous, so they're trying to help her recover. And a lot of the episode dealt with some exposition. We finally find out who Stick's going to war with, and of course that is the Hand from the comic books. That was cool. And we learned that Elektra was always working for Stick. Stick had sent her to meet Matt Murdock and kind of keep him in line, distract him, and then eventually she fell in love with him. Also in the episode, we have the Punisher. His trial is going on, and it's not going too good, not too bad. He had a few witnesses, and at the end of the episode, the Punisher, they put him on the stand, and he sort of freaks out and ends up getting sent to the prison, where we see him meet the King. And that brings us to episode 9, where the Kingpin and him are talking, and the Kingpin says, "Hey, you want to get people who are responsible for the death of your families? We got a guy in the prison here who played a hand in that." And this guy is also the Kingpin's rival in the prison. So the Punisher ends up killing the guy, getting double-crossed by the Kingpin, but then the Kingpin says, "You know what? I'm going to put you back on the street so you can take out more of my competition." And, of course, the Punisher escapes prison. Same time, we have Daredevil. He's dealing with the Hand, and he's trying to find their secret base. At this point, Elektra and Stick have already taken off. So he finds this facility that they're running. It's a drug operation, and he finds these people underground where they're being pumped. They're connected to all these pumps, and their blood's being drained into some sort of mysterious giant container. So back with that, out of the blue, he gets attacked by some ninja in the dark, and the guy starts talking to him, and he realizes it's Nobo from Season 1, the guy who he thought burned alive. And that's the end of Episode 9. Episode 10 deals with the Punisher. He's escaped. They're trying to track him down. He kills the DA. Someone kills the DA, and someone also kills the doctor who testified against him. And with the Hand storyline, we see that the people who were attached to the tubes, they've been taken to the hospital. They're trying to figure out what was going on with them. And at the same time, Elektra gets attacked by another assassin who was actually working for Stick. And and we have a scene where the Kingpin might start figuring out that Matt Murdock and Daredevil are one and the same. And that's what they left with Episode 10. Like I said, I thought all 3 episodes were very exciting. I enjoyed each and every one of them. I loved seeing Stick return, and I loved the scene right after, he saves Daredevil and Elektra, how they're escaping, and they're in a car. And at first I thought Stick was driving, but they just have some guy driving. They don't explain who he is or really say anything to him. But it's pretty funny, Daredevil's freaking out and Stick's all calm. It's like, just now's not a good time to be talking about it. He's shooting an arrow. out of the car and taking down ninjas. And then when they get back to the place, he starts ordering Daredevil to get him all this stuff. He's like, you got baking powder, you got whiskey, you got toilet butter cleaner. And, there's all the stuff to cure Elektra, from the poisons. And he keeps yelling at him to give him, and make sure you got some tea. Make sure you got some tea. And then at the end, you find out he just wanted some tea. It wasn't a part of, the cure for Elektra. He's just, after doing all the hard work, he drinks the tea. And I love bringing the hand in. And we knew season 1 with Nobu, he worked for the hand, especially when you see him in his red ninja suit. But they didn't say it. And in this one, they made you think it was Yakuza. And then the one scene where the guy's like, oh, who said I was Yakuza? Now it's official. Now the hand is a part of it. And you wonder what their big plot is. And I love how they have that storyline. At the same time, you have the storyline with the Punisher, and they're kind of held separately. And speaking of returns, I love the return of the Kingpin. I didn't know Vincent D'Onofrio was going to be back this season. I figured if they had brought him back, it was just going to be like a few seconds, like maybe at the end, where, it's like setting up for season 3. But no, he has a storyline in season 2, and I like it. I mean, in episode 8, you see him at the end, meeting with the Punisher. And then in the next episode, you see, what the deal is, and basically how from day 1 he started plotting taking over the prison, and he had a rival. It was the Dutton, was the guy's name, and he's the Dutton guy. He was already running the prison. He's like, hey, you can't have 2 kingpins in this prison, and through the Punisher, he sends the Punisher after this guy. Kill him off, but at the end the guy didn't die right away. He was hooked up to the hospital bed in the intensive care ward midnight. Kingpin's there, eating his meal in front of him, talking about it. Yeah, I agree with you. We can't have Kingpins, 2 Kingpins. Oh, by the way, the doctor said you're going to die pretty soon here. Your lungs are going to fill up with blood, but I'm sticking with you to the end. And I love how he got in a fight with both the Punisher and the Daredevil. Or should I say Matt Murdock? I mean, first, after he set up the Punisher, double-crossed him, where after he, takes down Dutton, they release all these prisoners, and Punisher has to kill all of them, and they take him. The guards have to recapture the Punisher and put him in solitary confinement. He goes and starts talking to the Punisher. He's like, I'm going to set you free, and the Punisher doesn't want anything to do with it. So they get in a fight, and I do have to say, though, Vincent D'Onofrio, I don't know if he did any stunt work building up to the all this fighting he had to do with Daredevil in season 1 or season 2 here, but he kind of looks like an oversized child fighting, and that might be intentional. That's how he sees the Kingpin, is this oversized child who throws these horrible temper tantrums. And then later, I love the scene with him and Matt Murdock. It's not Daredevil. It's Matt Murdock as himself. After the Punisher gets free and he kills the DA, he goes to have a confrontation with Kingpin, and they're in the prison and they're sitting down in this interrogation room. The Kingpin, he's hooked up, keep up appearances that he's a prisoner there, and he's talking to Murdock, and Murdock's trying to blackmail him. He's like, hey, you tell me where to find the Punisher, or you're going to see that Vanessa again. And then I'm thinking, okay, now the Punisher's Kingpin's going to tell him. No, he fucking breaks his chain and just wheels the fucking shit out of Matt Murdock. And I was like, holy shit. And he's beating him. He's telling him, you know what? When I get out of here, I'm going to fuck with you more. And your fucking friend, man. Bam, bam, bam. And Matt Murdock gets in one little punch. And then later, that's when, Kingpin works it through his head. He's like, hold on. I was brought down by Daredevil and by this Matt Murdock fellow. And quite honestly, I just fought both of them. And you know what? It's like that fucking Clark Kent with his fucking glasses. How the hell did people not see that? Now we're going to get into we've gotten into one I liked, and probably get into one I disliked. And that was, the Punisher on trial. I just thought that was a wasted opportunity there, where they had 2 witnesses. Like an army guy says, yeah, Frank Castle was the greatest soldier I've had, and this one psychologist is like, Now he's nuts, right? I thought that wasn't going to last longer. I thought maybe Murdoch and Foggy when they get him off, but like Matt never shows up because he's doing with the hand as Daredevil. So it was all up to Foggy, and then of course the Kingpin worked it so the Punisher would basically go insane and get be convicted guilty. It's just that didn't go anywhere, and of course it causes there's this drama between Foggy and Karen and Matt that I didn't like. It's like Foggy and Matt, it seems they're having that same argument they had in the last few episodes of season 1, where Foggy's freaking out that Matt Murdock's Daredevil is a vigilante and all this, not jazz, and he's worried about the law firm. And I'm like, and the same goes for like Karen and Matt Murdock. It's like they didn't really have that much of a romance to begin with, and at this point, I don't understand why he just doesn't tell her, "Hey, I'm Daredevil." I mean, I think he can trust Karen to keep it a secret, and I think it would make more sense. Or even like why he didn't tell, Foggy or Karen, hey, this mysterious client is my crazy ex-girlfriend. Just put it out there like that, And like I said, I've enjoyed these three episodes. I'm looking forward to the next 3, seeing how everything plays out. And